It's the Nailsin Ratings! Time to talk about The Flash. In particular, an episode called Newsflash. The villain this week is an evil blogger. Or maybe just a naughty blogger who goes a little too far in exploiting her abilities. Although we learn at the end, it's not really her abilities. No. There were quite a few revelations within this episode. Number one, Nora is either a lesbian or bisexual, as she was attracted to this female villain, and the feeling was mutual and all that, and they had a funny moment where Barry and Iris are listening in on their flirting. It turns out the villain is an old rival in the news world of Iris's, and she's trying to outdo Iris's blog, which apparently she still does, even though they made her the team leader of Team Flash. I don't know. They just did. But all in all, again, the cast manages to hold the show despite any weaknesses. The weakest part of it was this scene they placed at a softball game where the Flash goes to play. Well, not the Flash. Barry Allen goes. And he's terrible. He can't do anything right. And so there's a lot of slapstick humor there of Barry just screwing up and falling down on himself. The problem with this, with his Flash powers, I mean, is he able to just shut it off completely so it's not there? Because the chances that he would keep missing the ball is highly unlikely. It's because everything about him is faster than everybody else. So even seeing it would be faster than most people, and he'd be able to catch it. And no one would notice if he moved a lot faster, because it would be like the blink of an eye. But it's all done for comedy and whatnot. And of course, Iris is there playing the dutiful wife. And maybe if you aren't paying attention, you miss it. But they do a good job of portraying Barry and Iris as a pretty well settled in married couple. And so she's supportive of him. He's supportive of her. She's concerned about why Nora is so warm to Barry and not her. Of course, we know why, because Barry disappeared and she never really got to know him in her childhood. But why is she so cold to Iris? And, we get quite the revelation there, too. Apparently, Iris, sometime in the future, put some sort of power dampening chip in Nora, so she can't have her Flash powers. And she's very upset about this, and just can't seem to bring herself to forgive her mother for doing it. Now, the ball game business is mercifully cut short when we reveal, oh, there's a bomber there, and excess Nora saves the day. Well, she didn't mean to. She's being controlled by Spencer, the woman with the magic phone. Turns out the phone is infected with dark matter, so now devices can have superpowers, not just people, which is a bit odd. The only way to explain that, I suppose, is to give some sort of sentience to the dark matter itself, I think. But anyway, that's what she does. She either texts or sends out headlines from her blog to hypnotize people. And I'm assuming, of course, she has to actually mention your name in order for it to work on you. So she does this to this bomber guy, and then she does it to Nora in order to save the day, because she thinks Nora is the bee's knees, and among other things. And ends up ordering her to kill the Flash. So the Flash, he doesn't want to hurt his daughter, so they're fighting, and he's not quite sure what to do about it, and she's just about to kill him. She's going to drive her vibrating hand through his chest and stop his heart. And then suddenly Mama Iris shows up, and she shoots her with a power dampening chip. So even though it's provable that it was necessary to do, this is now but Nora's still mad at her and just can't forgive her. And at the end of the episode, she moves out of their place and moves in with Grandpa Joe. And so it's still a mystery as to why Iris would do it. Of course, there are clues. Barry disappeared. Why? Supposedly for the crisis. And is presumed dead and all this sort of thing. But whatever the threat to Barry was, Iris could feel would be directed towards Nora. So she didn't want Nora to go into the superhero life, and so she's saving her from the threat of that. But Nora, of course, wouldn't see it that way, but she doesn't quite explain that to Iris. So Iris is left guilt-ridden and wondering what could have made her do something like that that would make her daughter so angry. And but of course she has an inkling that, hey, I must have had a good reason, because I had a good reason now. Well, what could it be? Well, it obviously would have something to do along those lines, and it could just be as simple as she didn't want her daughter to go into the superhero life because she lost her husband to it. So their daughter's all she's got left. So there were no further revelations for Caitlin's father, but I'm sure we'll get that later. We had some brief appearances of Cicada lurking about, and so a bit of a competition between Wells and Ralph Dibney. And it ends up Ralph had the better idea about how to investigate Cicada. And getting closer to him, they actually got to his workplace without realizing it yet. But zeroing in on where he got his mask, and of course details that Cicada has some sort of breathing problem as a result of whatever the dark matter did to him. And it appears the dark matter hit him when Nora and the Flash saved the world from the Thinkers, bombardment in the last season. So at the end, he seems to be developing, Cicada that is, developing super strength. And so his powers continue to mutate within him. It looks like it's killing him, but at the same time, he's getting more powerful. So, all in all, okay. The softball, thing was a bit annoying. Nora can get annoying at times, but, that is her character. So I can sort of forgive it, but, not as strong as some of the other episodes this season. So it gets 3 stars, but still, The Flash is the best of CW. I will be watching the crossover, of course, which gets more and more interesting looking when you see some of the leaks about it. And so it looks cool, and we'll see Batwoman in that one and all that. So plenty more to come, but not a whole lot of viewers. The ratings are not doing well. So, But if you ask me, The Flash is worth a look. It's a good show, even when it kind of stumbles. All right, there you go. Thank you for watching and listening. And hey, while you're here, why not like and subscribe and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of lovely goodies for you.